were picked to finish 5th in their conference, but not if they had anything to say about it. Gusty's forward Hunter Newhouse gets us going, takes the pass from the goalie all the way down the ice. He shoots, just kidding. He sneaks it backdoor to Jack Succi, who scores the first goal of the night. But then it's a battle by the boards. Puck getting passed from Yellow Jacket to Yellow Jacket until Daniel Roosevelt, great name, gets his stick on it, and into the net it goes. Game tied at 1 apiece. Into the second period now, senior Reed Starks, and watch this. He barrels through the defender, and that's nothing but a beautiful shot. UWS takes the lead 2-1. They will roll with that momentum throughout the game. The Yellow Jackets hold the Gusties as is and win their home opener 3-1. Tomorrow they take on St. Olaf at Westman Arena. Puck drop for that one at 7:05. And the Yellow Jackets men's